We chose to watch Michael Moore's documentary, Capitalism, A Love Story. The documentary was released back on October 2nd, 2009, and is a total of 127 minutes. It earned a total of $230,000 on opening weekend and $14.5 million in total.
This is Amy Biancoli's review of Capitalism, A Love Story. In her review, she concedes that the fact that Moore's works are controversial, but also mentions that if you hate him, you'll hate his movies, but if you love him, you'll love the movies. This shows that the movie's likability is largely determined by the viewer's opinion of Moore. Biancoli goes on explaining that Moore uses specific examples in his justification of his opinion of capitalism, such as the widening gap between the richest and the rest, and the financial collapse of 2008, the foreclosure epidemic, and the families who suffered. Biancoli closes the review by saying that although the documentary is controversial and embodies the usual elements of Moore, overall, Biancoli contends that Moore's topics are suited only for some, and that the views are not generally bad, but the presentation might offend some.
Liam Lacy has a less sympathetic view of the documentary in comparison to Biancoli. Lacy starts off by stating there's some truth in this, like Biancoli, but then shifts the tone to more critical. When she describes the film as often embarrassingly simplistic and self-contradictory. He then furthers this argument by stating Moore's opinion and persuasion are mainly the cause of him growing tired of his own theatrics, so Moore urges the audience to join him in this cause. The main point Lacy tries to get across is that Moore's film is persuasive and somewhat truthful, but the persuasion and truths are mainly used for selfish motives rather than for the benefit of the people. But does he mean it? As a filmmaker creating a product for marketplace supported by profit-seeking investors, he obviously has some comfort level with capitalism in the sense of doing business.
In total, Moore has made up to 8 documentaries, including Capitalism, A Love Story. His most notable works include Bowling for Columbine in 2002, a documentary about the use of guns and violence in the U.S., and Sicko in 2007, a documentary about the American healthcare, both of which are among the top 10 grossing documentaries. Michael Moore's works are not well received by others due in part to Moore's aggressive nature.
Can I start for a second? Can you tell me what a credit default swap is? Can you explain the derivative to me?
Moore usually targets specific institutions in his documentaries, which cause him to be less liked.
Everything was being handled by the Treasury Secretary from Goldman Sachs. They had Congress right where they wanted them. This was almost like an intelligence operation.
Moore's works usually generate significant amounts of controversy. The main cause of the controversies are that Moore's works do not reflect his true nature, giving him the appearance of being a hypocrite. The view is especially evident in Capitalism, A Love Story, and his documentary, Roger and Me. The other major cause of the controversy is Moore pokes at delicate topics that viewers feel are more private. Controversy is a key ingredient in Moore's works and is used in hopes of stirring emotions to create buzz and bring more publicity to his works. Moore attempts to demonstrate the imperfections in our government and economic system. He explains how corruption and inequality have caused our economy to become how it is today. Basically, he highlights the downside of our American capitalist system and encourages Americans to change their defective system.
There's got to be some kind of a rebellion between the people that have nothing and the people that's got it all.
Moore argues that corporations and their greed are the primary reason that the American economy has developed in the way it has. The American people are such heavy consumers that large and powerful corporations are able to secure important positions in their government. Furthermore, these corporations are taking advantage of the very people they should be helping. For example, Walmart and other companies takes out dead peasant policies on some of its employees so that if they die, the company will profit. Moore claims that this is unethical and should be stopped and prevented. Moore brings up a significant amount of evidence to support his claims. For every accusation he makes, he is able to support himself with an anecdote or proof. However, a lot of the claims he makes seem to be contrary to his actions. Moore talks smack about the American economy.
We're here to get the money back for the American people. I got more bags. 10 billion probably won't fit in here.
But on the other hand, his movies gross millions of dollars, generating an extremely large profit for himself. The director had an indignant attitude with an accusatory tone. Moore used a list of techniques including complex shot, take, angle straight on, headroom, nose room, direct the camera, rack focus, pan, tracking shot, point of view shot, hard shots, frontal lighting, and medium close-up. Moore has a structure of giving information and using real people to interview his profit.
Fun times in Cleveland again. Still Cleveland. Come on down to Cleveland town, everyone. Under construction since 1868. See our river that catches on fire. It's so polluted that all our fish have AIDS. We see the sun almost 3 times a year. This guy has at least 2 DUIs. The flats look like a Scooby-Doo ghost town. Don't slow down in East Cleveland or you'll die. Our economy's based on LeBron James. Buy a house for the price of a VCR. Our main export is crippling depression. We're so retarded that we think this is art. It could be worse though, at least we're not Detroit. We're not Detroit.